The message arrived right as I was wrapping up a proposal in my office located in downtown San Diego. Hey, darling, about Easter. Your dad and I are thinking of keeping things low-key this year. Just us, Sarah, and her boys. You get it, right? You are always so busy. I froze at that moment. Not shocked, merely exhausted. My name is Emily Lee, and at 36, I had once more been quietly pushed aside from the family plans. It never becomes any easier. Apparently, running a global wellness startup left me too occupied for holiday gatherings. Yet somehow, Sarah, my younger sister with twin toddlers and a husband who forgets her birthday, was never too overwhelmed to join their calm arrangements. I responded with composed fingers. Actually, I was considering trying something different this year. Her reply was prompt. Wonderful. We did not want to upset you. It is just simpler with the children. You know how things get. I believe she was referring to me. I was the disturbance, the extra presence, the one who never fit into their flawless yet dysfunctional scene. I set the phone aside and opened my folder of retreat ideas, a digital vision board I had created for someday. One listing practically gleamed, a luxurious eco-lodge on a secluded cove in New Zealand, boasting geothermal springs, organic dishes, and zero cell reception. For years, I postponed traveling alone, always showing up to bake, decorate, and bring presents. Constantly the reliable one, while Sarah enjoyed being the cherished sibling. My phone buzzed again. And Emily, do you still bring your carrot cake bars for the boys? They always insist. Auntie Emily makes the finest treats. I smiled bitterly, uninvited, yet still expected to bake. The family mascot, clearly not deserving a place at the table. I opened my banking app. Thanks to my startup's recent sale and many years of careful saving, my balance looked more than sufficient. I switched back to the Ecolodge website. The Easter weekend dates remained open. My therapist's words repeated in my mind. You don't have to keep showing up where you're not wanted. You get to create your own traditions. So I clicked. Look now, the confirmation appeared in my inbox while a new message from Mom arrived. Oh, and could you grab that honey-glazed ham from Ramirez's again, like last year? Sarah says it's your specialty. I smiled, closed the message, and finally turned off my phone. This Easter, I would not be slicing ham. I would be kayaking beneath waterfalls, falling asleep under the stars, and taking back my peace. Alone, yes, but never lonely. Simply free. I leaned back in my chair, a broad smile stretching across my face. For the first time in what seemed like ages, I felt light and free. I opened my digital calendar and reserved 3 full weeks. One before Easter, Easter week itself, and the week after. No meetings, no check-ins, just space. Then I did something I had never dared before. I set my work email to out of office and dialed my assistant's number. Megan, do you recall the extended break we discussed? I asked with a smile still lingering. Oh my gosh, are you actually going through with it? She exclaimed in surprise. I am doing it. Every part of it. Absolutely, she almost shouted with excitement. Should I arrange your appointments for the middle of April? Perfect. And Megan, could you forward any family messages to me? I have a strong feeling they will be quite entertaining. The following days flew by, filled with pure happiness. I shopped as if preparing for a fashion magazine shoot. Light and airy silk dresses, bold sunglasses, handcrafted sandals, and enough sun hats to last for a whole month. I even booked a professional photographer in New Zealand to document everything. If my family wanted some peace and quiet without me, that was fine. I would let them enjoy their Easter in complete silence. 7 days before Easter, the expected message came through. Hey, Emily, Mom said, you are not coming to Easter. Do not make this into a big deal. The boys are eager to see you. It was from Sarah. I replied briefly, no big deal, just unavailable. Have a calm Easter. The emoji was deliberate. Sarah responded almost immediately. Wait, what do you mean? Where are you headed? I muted the conversation. On the morning I left, I shared a single picture on Instagram. My passport, alongside a first-class boarding pass with the caption, "Time for some peace and quiet." It was my first personal post in almost 12 months. My usual feed focused on investor achievements and family gathering photos. The reaction was swift. By midday, my inbox and direct messages were flooded. Mom, Dad, Sarah, even my cousin Ashley. Where are you headed? Why didn't you mention anything? For once, I stayed silent. I settled into seat 1A, flute of champagne in hand, bound for a private coastal retreat hidden between rugged cliffs and sea breeze. Upon arrival, New Zealand surpassed every dream. My eco-villa stood above a secret cove with warm geothermal pools bubbling beneath and stars shining so brightly it felt like discovering a whole new universe. Stepping barefoot onto my private terrace, the gentle crashing waves brought tranquility deep into my soul. Miss Lee, my butler, Kalia, greeted me warmly and placed a welcome tray filled with tropical fruits. "Your photographer will meet you here at dawn tomorrow," she informed me. "The light would be magical." I grinned, imagining the moment, not those stiff and uncomfortable family Easter photos, but pictures capturing me, strong, joyful, truly seen, living fully in control, not merely an invitee in my own story. Perfect, I thought, sipping herbal tea while Kaya reviewed the schedule. "Everything is carefully planned," she said with a smile. A private sail through the fjords was next day, a sunset dinner atop the cliffs that evening, and spa treatments spaced across the week. Chef Ahaya also wondered if I wanted to join a private cooking class this afternoon, where he would teach authentic Maui recipes. Back home in San Diego, I would be elbow deep in pastel baskets and hunting for an organic honey-glazed ham. Instead, I was selecting native ingredients by hand and booking kayak tours to explore glowing caves filled with magical light. The stark difference did not escape me. I had truly made a choice. Since landing, I kept my phone on airplane mode, yet curiosity got the best of me when I briefly switched it back on. Instantly, it vibrated with a flood of messages. "Mom, darling, where are you?" "The boys keep asking about their Easter baskets." "Sarah? Oh my goodness, did you actually leave the country?" "Mom is completely panicking." "Dad, darling, this is not like you at all. Call us." I replied with a single image. Me standing on the villa deck in a flowing linen maxi dress, sipping from a coconut, the ocean merging with the sky behind me. No words needed, no caption added. Sarah quickly FaceTimed me 3 times. I smiled and declined each call, then sent her a slow-motion video of dolphins leaping near the rocky cove. Sarah asked, "Are you at one of those exclusive eco-resorts? How can you possibly afford that?" Her message carried a hint of jealousy. Sarah always thought my single, career-focused life was some kind of fallback. She never realized that not juggling 3 kids and a mortgage meant I had both savings and freedom. The next dawn, the sky blushed a soft pink as the photographer captured me practicing sunrise yoga on the deck, carrying floating breakfast trays, snorkeling alongside stingrays. Each new post was thoughtfully shared across my feed. My previously quiet social presence became vibrant. Friends replied, "Living your best life." Colleagues said, "You deserve this." An old roommate joked, "Where is my invite?" Yet the messages from my mom touched me most deeply. "Mommy, Emily, please call us. Easter dinner just won't be the same without you. We never intended to cause you pain. The baskets you crafted, your nephews, are deeply saddened." I replied with a photo from the cooking workshop covered in flour, smiling while enjoying a bowl of kumra pudding and making new memories. Sarah's response arrived quickly and cutting. It must be wonderful to be so self-centered. Instead of words, I shared a video of myself kneeling on the shore, releasing baby sea turtles into the ocean. This act was part of the resort's conservation program. Was it selfish? No, it was an expression of self-respect. If you have ever felt excluded, ignored, or told to remain silent, subscribe now, because in the upcoming episode, those who left me out will not only regret their choice, they will wish they had paid attention when all I offered was genuine affection. Caption: Discovering tranquility by giving back. While my family back home in San Diego was probably gathered around a picture-perfect table for their calm Easter meal, I found myself sipping passion fruit tea on a small island surrounded by clear blue waters, seabirds, and complete quiet. The chef exceeded all expectations. No dry ham or mass-produced rolls to be seen. My Easter feast featured freshly caught crayfish grilled just right, artisanal flatbreads, honey-glazed camar, and mango tartlets that could have been displayed in a Parisian gallery. I captured a moment. Barefoot in the sand, a champagne glass in hand, sunlight glowing around me. Caption: Sometimes peace comes to you from unexpected places. Happy Easter. Suddenly, my phone burst alive like wildfire. Friends privately messaging resort suggestions, co-workers cheering me on for actually taking a genuine rest, distant relatives I hadn't heard from in ages suddenly commenting, texting, recalling that I even existed. But one message stood out clearly. Mom, we made an error. Please come back soon. We miss you. I tapped my glass gently against the warm breeze and observed the sunset merging into the horizon. Go home, they said. I was only getting started. This trip was not a pause, but a boundary, a calm, elegant gesture after years of being underestimated. The most satisfying part was watching their quiet little vacation begin to unravel after viewing my posts online, and they had no idea how much more there was to come. The following 14 days transformed into a masterclass in joyful rebellion. Each day I revealed chosen glimpses of the journey, not to spite anyone, but to expose the truth about who I had always been and how few had ever cared to see it. Sarah's passive-aggressive comment, "Must be nice to be selfish," sparked something. That day, I joined a program at the Aoraki Coastal Conservation Initiative, assisting local marine experts with reef restoration and sea lion tracking. Pictures of me wearing diving gear, arms wide toward the endless ocean, stirred fresh buzz. Even my cousin Kate, who once labeled me hard to deal with, remarked, "Never knew you cared about this stuff. I'm impressed." I responded with a brief video introducing 3 rescued sea lions by name, sharing their stories and progress. Stories of recovery come from the care of someone who truly pays attention, something my family never provided. The resort photographer captured more than just images. There I was tutoring local students in everyday English, joining volunteers for beach cleanup, and absorbing wisdom about sustainable living from a Maui elder. Each photo, each caption served as a subtle contradiction to the story they had written about me. They said I was too ambitious, too different, too much, and now too distant to ignore. The children barely looked at their Easter baskets, saying they weren't the same. Your father's lamb roast was overcooked, they complained. You know he never manages it right without your help. Ava had a breakdown during the egg hunt. You always knew how to calm her down. The messages came relentlessly. One after another, I read them lying in a hammock stretched between 2 palm trees, a hibiscus flower in my hair, and the aroma of citrus oil still lingering from my beach massage. I chose not to respond in words. Instead, I replied with pictures. Me snorkeling alongside manta rays, racing a toast on a private sunset sail, relaxing in a geothermal spa carved into a cliff. No explanations, only proof that I was no longer the one holding everyone else together. Then everything changed. Sarah shared a photo from their Easter dinner. The table looked lovely and well arranged, but the smiles were forced and stiff. The children appeared distracted. The caption said, "Family peace and quiet, but missing some noise today. I waited until morning in Ora, understanding the difference in time zones meant they would all still be awake back home. Then I shared it online, a cinematic compilation of my entire getaway. The villa perched on a hill, the conservation efforts, the lavish retreats, the joyful children I tutored, the dives on the coral reef, the dinners by firelight, the soundtrack of gentle ocean waves and native birds singing. The caption read, "Found my calm in paradise. Sometimes being left out is the greatest present you can receive. Thank you for giving me this space." The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. My phone buzzed nonstop with messages. "Dad, Princess, we made a huge mistake. That place looks unbelievable. Sarah, I can't believe you experienced all of that while we were lost in chaos with sugar-fueled kids and Mom's breakdowns. Mom, why didn't you tell us you had access to such luxury? We thought you were just working around the clock." The family group chat, silent all through Easter, suddenly exploded with activity. Cousins tagged me asking for resort information. Aunts I hadn't talked to in a year asked if I could assist with planning a wellness retreat. Respect, curiosity, and admiration, feelings I had never encountered before, poured in waves through my messages. On my last evening in New Zealand, I hosted an exclusive dinner on the beach. The chef created a fusion of Maori and French dishes, while local fire dancers twirled flames along the shore. I wore a flowing white gown, barefoot beneath the stars, with the dark, endless ocean behind me. The photo captured the moment flawlessly. The caption said, "Thank you for the chance to craft my own traditions. Best Easter surprise I never expected." This was truly unforgettable. The moment my mom called, I picked up. "Emily," she said, her voice tight with emotion. "We were mistaken. Completely mistaken. We thought you did not want family moments, but what you have built is truly wonderful." "Yes," I replied, watching the flames dance on the waves. "It is, and it just took being left out for me to finally embrace it." Silence followed. Then softly she asked, "Next Easter, would you consider helping us organize something like this as one family?" I smiled, recalling their serene Easter photo. We would witness the stress, the disorder, the forced grins. "Maybe," I responded quietly to Mom. "But first, you all need to recognize something. I am not simply the reliable daughter who prepares Easter baskets and carves the roasts. I am a person who can craft beauty, happiness, and magic on my own terms." "We see that now," she murmured. "We truly do." As I folded my dresses into the suitcase, the breeze lifting the sheer curtains of the villa one final time, a last message lit up my phone. From Sarah. "I understand now, sir. Sometimes the noise we need does not come from children or disorder. Sometimes it comes from someone who brings their own type of peace. The next holiday is yours to arrange. Show us your version of family." I set the phone down and took one more leisurely walk across the deck. The sunrise poured golden light over the water, warm and full of hope. They tried to exclude me, but by doing so, they gave me something better: perspective, clarity, and freedom. Because sometimes the greatest revenge is not about confrontation or conflict. Making a point is not the goal here. It is about overcoming challenges, discovering inner calm, and allowing others to notice the void they once ignored. My last update from New Zealand was straightforward: a serene dawn unfolding over the vast Pacific Ocean. The caption read, "Grateful for the room to evolve. The upcoming family reunion will be on my terms. Paradise welcomes everyone who is willing to truly value it." Messages poured in, yet I did not engage with them. I was already drafting ideas for the gathering during the next Easter. This time, driven not by obligation, but by clear intention. Because the finest answer to being excluded is to build something so magnificent that inclusion becomes a privilege. That was precisely my approach. If you have ever felt abandoned, unnoticed, or like your worth depended solely on what you could offer others, I hope my experience provides you with hope. My journey was not planned as a grand gesture. I simply realized I could not continue appearing for those who only acknowledged me when it suited them. Perhaps you have faced this as well. Share a comment if you have ever chosen tranquility over validation. If you found power not in arguing but in moving ahead, I want to hear your story, your moment of choosing yourself. These narratives are important. We are important. If this struck a chord with you, please subscribe. Not for the spectacle, but for the quiet strength rooted in truth. Because sharing more stories like this creates space for real permission. We allow others to find their own brightness. You do not require an invitation to prove your value. At times, the strongest action you can take is to create a life so rich in beauty and purpose that it captures the attention of those who once overlooked it. This is a toast to embracing tranquility and making it impossible to overlook.